This is the Kustom Directional Talon. This is a portable handheld model. As you can see, comes with a power cable. You're going to plug this in. Very first thing you'll notice, you press the power button on there. All the segments will light up, so you can see if there's any segments that are out. You have audio button, which will say audio. You can cycle the audio up and down based on that. You also have a range button. You can cycle the range up and down, 5 being the maximum. You have a test button that'll light up all the segments, and it'll show pass if all the internal circuit tests on this radar pass. Then you have the mode button. Right now this is showing like a divided highway right there, and it's reading both directions. Basically the car is coming towards us and coming away from us, hence the word all. If I put it into that mode, that is approaching vehicles. So that's just vehicles coming towards us, and receding vehicles is just vehicles going away from us. That's the basic functions on here. We also have a remote that's here. This is a moving model, but I don't have the dash bracket up here for that. Normally this would sit up here on the dash like this. You could drive down the road, and then you operate the functions with the hold button, the lock button, the fastest, and the patrol select on here. So you use this button, it operates to this photo cell that's inside of there. If we're using this just as a handheld, you'll notice there's a trigger right here. When I push this trigger down, we'll start to read speeds. As you're seeing these cars going by, you'll see that right now we're in the all mode. This 56 is the car going away from us. This 57 is this semi that's going away from us. If we see a car pop up down here in the fastest, you'll see that I've got a 58 and a 67. The fastest vehicle is the fastest of these targets going out. So I'll turn this off so this the audio isn't messing up. Let me turn this audio down a little bit so we're not getting overrun by the audio on this thing. But the 58 is always the strongest target. So it's going to be the target out there that's giving this the strongest signal. Usually that's the closest one to the radar. When we pick up one in this fastest window, it's regardless of where that vehicle is, how far away from the radar or whatever, that is the absolute fastest signal that we are getting. Usually if you're going to get a wild reading on one of these radars, you're going to get it in the fastest window. Usually when you pick one up in the strongest window on there, it's pretty obvious which vehicle that is. That's usually the closest one to the radar. Now, if we want to, let's say we're on a divided highway and we can't get to the other lane of traffic. And let's say right now I've got approaching vehicles and I can't get to the other side of the road, that other side anyway. I want to say, okay, go ahead and give me receding targets. So it's going to get ones coming towards us. So right now it's not picking up any of those that vehicle on the other side of the road, because you're just getting vehicles receding, which means vehicles going that way. Approaching would be vehicles coming towards us. So when we get another vehicle come by here, you'll see what I'm saying. But if we wanted to see this vehicle down the road, we'll go ahead and go over here to all. And as you can see, this car way on down the road there, 60 miles an hour, is coming towards us. That's the nice thing about these directional Talons, is the directional, they make a Talon and then a directional Talon. The directional Talon is functionally exactly the same as the Talon. Outside of this directional Talon will actually tell us which direction the car is coming. So as you can see, these things have pretty good range. You're going to get the end of that turn down there we're looking at is about 4,000 feet. So it's about, almost a mile, about 1,000 feet short of a mile. Now I've got another vehicle coming. We're going to go into receding mode, And you'll see now that we're picking up these vehicles going down there. This will keep these vehicles going down there. Even though this car coming towards us right here is now our strongest target, this radar is still going to be locked in on that vehicle going away from you. That's a really nice feature on these newer radars, that you can get one that goes into directional mode like that. Now, you notice if I let off the trigger, the thing will automatically lock the speed down here. A function of the newer radars is that when you lock in on a speed like this, it continues to track that vehicle. And the reason they have that is so that we can track the vehicle as it goes all the way along, and we don't end up just locking in on one vehicle. Based on NHTSA standards, these vehicles have to have this second window down here to lock into, so that we have the vehicle tracking history for the entire time that this radar is going by us. So I'll put this thing back into the all mode again. Okay, now you'll say, hey, one of these things is you get a lot on these radars is, let me see if I can get it, we're getting 14 miles an hour. Well, there's obviously nobody there. Why are we getting 14 miles an hour? Well, this radar is sensing the oscillations in the fan inside of this car. So if I take this car, if I get this 14 miles an hour, I can kick this fan up. It's still. Now I'm kind of shielding it from the car, and so we're getting this 22 miles an hour. If I cut this fan off, as that fan goes off, we'll shield this thing. As my fan blower goes off, now all of the speeds go off. If I take this thing up like that. So that's one of the things, you can get some wild readings on these radars. Most of them have to do with the fan oscillation. A turbo or a supercharger on a vehicle creates that same oscillation and frequency shift that the radar is looking for. But as you can see, this is a really nice radar here, top of the line radar from Kustom Signals, and it's pretty popular.